What's up, YouTube? Brian here with Team D-Boyz Infinity, and today I'm coming at you with my Paleozoic frog deck that I played last week at Locals. I finished third with it. It's a pretty standard build. I kind of got the idea to play it like 2 days before the tournament because I realized that Star Boy was coming out, so I was like, yeah, I have to play this deck. This will be fun. So it was nice to throw back to Paleos, and they're actually, I think they're very good this format because of the power vacuum that's been left over with Zoo leaving the game. I definitely think a lot of other decks like this deck can step up, and the Masterpiece deck is still a problem, but they have less access to traps because return is limited and Dynamite's banned. So it is actually harder for them to get a trap in your Masterpiece. So you can potentially actually out the Masterpiece if it comes up. So that's cool. Plus, I play some tech choices to defeat it. So again, I said the build is relatively standard. I'll talk about my personal choices and what things I might consider for the deck because I wasn't surprised when Magicians rose up to fill the power vacuum at the UDS. That didn't shock me. I knew that deck was very good, and then Wavering Eyes being at 3 was it was bound to happen. But anyway, yeah, some paleo decks did some notable stuff this weekend too. So I'll kind of talk about other people's choices that I saw because some people had some more stuff that was out there that I didn't run because I had 2 days to prepare. So I kind of just threw together a fairly standard list that I'm familiar with since I played this deck before. So of course, the best card in the deck, triple swap frog, and then for the rest of the frog engine, three dupe, 2 Ronin, and then the last monster is Maxi. Um, yep, new format, so no need to main other hand traps right now, especially since they conflict with this Card of Demise, and then also Maxi being a level 2 is neat. So that's why it's the only hand trap. And then the other spells I play for draw power, 2 Desires, and then I main deck Regeki and Dark Hole. Now that Dark Hole's limited again, I figure why not just play the extra one? So now I have 2 board wipes in the main because that allows me to out a spell or a monster trap immune Masterpiece. So that's really cool. For the traps, for the Paleos, I played triple Olenoides and triple Canadia. These are probably the best 2, I would say. Back removal and then a Book of Moon. This is relevant against things that don't run a lot of links because you can clog up their extra monster zone. And then the last 3 of his Dynamiscus. Card's pretty good. And then 2 Morella. I considered running, possibly cutting Dynamiscus down to 2. I wasn't sure. And maybe playing 3rd Morella or a Leon Choilia, the one that returns banished cards. I noticed that saw a lot of play. As well as the Spellbook engine too. So that's something else I could consider since they're all waters. You can add them, or the Blue Boys of water, you can add it back. And I'm a very big fan of that engine, so I can consider that as well. For the rest of the traps, I played 3 Lost Wind, 3 Reckless Greed, 3 Mirror Force, which I think is fine because my body's not as big of a problem. And then for the last traps, I played 3 Strike and 1 Warning. So that rounds out the main deck. Just on note to talk about my trap lineup, there were a couple cards I missed that were in the side that I wanted to mention because I also want to find main deck space for them. And those were Heavy Storm Duster and Dimensional Barrier, which I think are both amazing cards still right now. I wish Grass was still at 3 sometimes because you could just load your deck full of the best trap cards, and then you didn't even need Grass. You could win off the trap cards and eventually make your Paleozoic engine do work. So these are also cards, along with Compulse and Book of Moon, or other cards I consider for the main deck. Onto the extra deck, of course, I played 3 Tree Toad, totally awesome, whatever you want to call them. Heart and Soul of the deck gets into your frog engine, you start snowballing. Also, when you link with it, you can get add-backs, which is really cool. You can add back Gamma Seal as well. And as aforementioned, Blue Boy, if you choose to play that. For the Paleozoics, I played 2 Opabinia and 1 Anomalocaris. Pretty standard. Most of them, the rank 2s I cut down to 1, so I had room for the new Link monsters. Oberbini is very good for swarming the field and then linking up with it into a Mistar Boy after you get a Surge. The Downerd for just in case. Crumble Logos, Centaurea, Degusto Phoenix, and Cat Shark to round out the utility rank 2s. And then for the Link monsters, I played Triple Mistar Boy and then the one Proxy Dragon. So I played the Proxy Dragon because if I wanted to open up more arrows, I wanted a different variety like side arrows to open up more zones. I didn't play Decode Talker because I figured Mistar Boy would always be up top, so I didn't have a use for Decode Talker. A lot of people this past weekend did play Decode Talker, and I think I made a mistake on that. I think I definitely should have played one because it's a card that can get big, so I just need it for those situations to attack over things. And that's pretty much the only time I would ever put it up top. If I had Decode Talker in my extra deck, I probably would have been able to get game in time against Lightsworns and maybe come in first or second. But yeah, so I definitely think that was a mistake. I would play one Decode Talker in the extra deck just to go up top. So that concludes the deck profile. So let me know if you enjoyed the video by leaving a like. Comment down below if you have any questions, comments about the deck, any suggestions, and subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already. Thank you for watching.